Today is the 12th of June, and it's 4 o'clock. Please call the order.
Chairperson Monty Garza.
Here.
Vice Chair Ted Maziakos. Alderman John Lash.
Here.
Alderman Mike Seville.
Here.
Alderman Emmanuel Yamas.
Here.
4 present.
Okay. First is approval of the minutes, 230423.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Alderman Mike Seville, second Alderman Lamas. Oh, no, Jan, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was Thomas.
Oh, it's Lamas?
Yeah, it was me.
Oh, okay. All right. All in favor say yes?
Aye.
Okay. We have public comment?
No, we do not.
No? Okay. Can you please read the first item in the agenda?
230402, a resolution approving the purchase of 48 Tecton jury-based armless chairs and 40 Tecton chairs on casters from Group Management Office Furniture of Aurora, Illinois through the National Cooperative Purchasing Alliance Contract number 07-116 in the amount of $58,967.40.
Good afternoon, committee. Lieutenant Bill Rowley with the Aurora Police Department. This is an item that was approved for the 2023 budget. We actually had $65,000 approved for this purchase, and this item came in at $58,967. We did get a second bidder, although this is, we are requesting to purchase this under a cooperative purchase agreement. And this satisfies our needs to replace all the squeaky chairs that were in our community room. I know Alderman Chiquita Hart-Burns, this was a specific pain point for her, so hopefully she'll be pleased when she hears that we're finally moving forward on this. This will replace 88 chairs, including the jury style chairs that are in the stadium side of our community room and the flat chairs on casters. And this is part of a multi-year replacement program for the police department.
I have a question.
Yes?
I'm just trying to picture the jury chairs then. Are we getting the same replacements, the exact same model and brand and everything?
It's not the exact same model and brand. That the chairs that are there presently are about 12 years old, and they are no longer in production. We're getting something similar.
Okay.
Commensurate in style and quality. And
So are we replacing all of the jury chairs then?
yes,
They'll
sir.
all be the brand new ones, so we're not having
Yeah, no mixing,
mix and
no
match
mixing
there.
and matching, right?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Sure.
I'll second motion.
Okay, motion made by John Lash, all, second Mike Seville. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed, 5-0. Next item?
230420, a resolution authorizing the city to accept a grant award of $24,658 from the Morton Arboretum for the 2023 Chicago Region Earmark Urban and Community Forestry Support in the Chicago Region Grant Program, with the city to contribute matching funds of $8,261 to improve the forest health of the downtown.
Right.
Good afternoon, Abby Schuler, Downtown Services Manager, here today to ask for approval to accept a grant from the Morton Arboretum for the forest and tree canopy improvement of the downtown. This grant would have the planting of 34 new trees, pruning of 10 existing trees. We'd be removing some invasive species along the river walk and the bike path, and also provide for professional development for our staff. Our staffing, our city contribution or matching contribution of 25% would be fulfilled by the labor costs of sending our entire staff to urban forestry basic training.
Questions or comments? Yes?
For the city's matching portion, the 25% there, are those already built into 40-hour work week, or is this overtime we'd be paying staff to go to training?
We would have it during the 40-hour work week.
So it really wouldn't, in reality, cost us anything, whether they're here or at training?
Right.
Great, thank you.
Exactly.
More questions? Yes?
And then just, it's the city that's going to maintain those once they're planted.
Correct. Correct.
Thank you. No other questions?
I just think this is a good idea, not
Right.
only for the planting of the trees, but the taking out the invasive species. That's been long overdue, so I appreciate you guys doing that. That's a great thing.
It's a
Absolutely.
good deal.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by John Lash, second, Lamas. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
230422, a resolution authorizing the acceptance of the low bid from F.H. Pashkin, S.N. Nielsen and Associates LLC for the renovation of the Human Resources Department office for $683,500 plus a 10% project contingency amount of $68,350.
Good day, Councilwomen and men. My name is Guadalupe Gonzalez. I'm the new Superintendent for Facilities Maintenance for the City of Aurora.
Jim Birchall, Chief Public Facilities Officer. We're here today to present the Human Resources remodel. It's much needed, as we all know. It's the first point of contact for all the community and employees. What this project will do is demo the current offices, create 8 new offices, 1 conference room. We'll install a ductless split system for HVAC. Currently, it's a hot or cold situation. This will take care of that. We'll tie it into our tritium system, which is our building automated control, so we can control the temperature, so we can shut it down in off hours, save electricity, as well as the lighting. Wegman Construction was the second lowest bidder, and we put it out to bid just to show the council that with our own City of Aurora JOC program, we were able to save the city $88,000 by using FH Passion. So we highly recommend that we move forward with FH Passion on this project.
Comments or questions? Yes?
Just curious, when you put it out to bid, I saw the ad that goes out, but is there a contractors association that we're also sending these RFPs out to? Just because I'm getting familiar with the process.
Our purchase department does a great job. They put it out to everybody, and it's also publicly bid. They put it in the paper as well.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion by Lamas, second, Mike Seville. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion
Thank
passed
you.
5-0. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next item.
230451, a resolution to award the contract for the 115-125 South Fordham Avenue and Lancaster Avenue Sanitary Sewer Improvements Project to Stokes Excavating, Inc. in the amount of $160,680.00.
Good afternoon. Kurt Muth with the Engineering Division. So this project is located on the west side of South Fordham Avenue, just south of Garfield Avenue. Last fall, several homes in this 4-home stretch had some basement backups, and as a result of investigation, we found that the services went out the backyard, connected up to each other with a 6-inch pipe, and actually, instead of heading out to Fordham, they continued to head west out to Commonwealth through some private properties. Once these services combine, they're considered public main, so it's the city's responsibility to maintain them, even though they're on private property and backyards, which is very difficult with the size and location. So unfortunately, we find these types of projects in older neighborhoods, it seems about every other year. So the task is then to go and try and separate these services so they each have their own dedicated service out to the main, and we can, then they are private responsibility. The homeowners have to maintain them themselves, and the city can go back to maintaining the sewer and the roadway. So we put together a plan to install new sanitary services to the front of the house. There'll be some internal plumbing to then discharge the service to the front of the house. And as part of this project, we will also be replacing any lead services water services that we encounter. We have quantity in there for 4 of them on the west side and 1 on the east side that we think will disturb. We went out for public bid, and Stokes Excavating was the low bidder. And those results can be seen in the attached bid tabulation. Be happy to answer any questions.
So in this point, the owners, so they don't want to pay nothing, no? Or is some percentage they gotta pay?
The city covers it because it's considered all public main behind the houses, and we need to, it's just not able to be maintained by the city because of the location. And actually, the most upstream house, 125, South Fordham, had a backup last week. So it's definitely an urgent matter that needs to be addressed. So the city is paying for these services so that they can separate them, and then they are then private. The private homeowner's responsibility to maintain them.
Okay, so what I understand is, so the city gonna pay for do the work. For, in the future, that's what you're saying, in the future, the owner have to pay for, do the maintenance?
Once they get a dedicated service for each house, it'll be just like every other house that we're aware of in the city that doesn't have combined sanitary services. So they'll be the responsibility of the homeowner, similar to every other house, once they have a dedicated sanitary service.
I understand, okay. More questions?
You go ahead.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
A quick one. I'm still on the same point here about the combined sanitary services. That's why we're paying for it. Has this happened in the past, and is this still going to be our policy moving forward with any other people in similar situations?
It seems like about every other year we find a location where there's combined 6-inch pipe on private property. So as long as they're separate until they get to the right of way where we can maintain them.
I just want to make sure we're not like cherry picking which properties we're going to pay for because of combined and which other ones we're going to decline.
No, it's as they pop up, as we discover them from basement backups. We don't have a record of a lot of these locations in town, so we just address them as they pop up.
Okay, thank you.
Jan?
I guess it's more of a comment, just to make you aware of it, but also, so we're replacing sewer and water out in the street. A bill did just pass the House and the Senate called Dig Once that also requires anybody digging up and replacing any utility to also place all the utilities in the ground to prevent from digging repeatedly. So it would also require electric and broadband infrastructure installed at the same time. I'm just curious what the timeline on this project is. I know it probably won't fall eligible, but I wanted to A, make you aware of it, and B, just see what the timeline of replacement, I'm assuming this year sometime.
Contractor I know has a couple other contracts ahead of this, at least one other water main job that they were awarded a couple weeks ago. So we're probably looking at July, August construction for this project.
And it's not an area that falls into lead? Do they have existing lead?
Yes, we do have the lead water service replacement as part of this project.
Okay.
Is confirmed. We haven't confirmed the pipe types in all 4 of them, but the 1 or 2 that I've seen so far were lead. So we put in quantities for all of them just in case.
Thank you.
Okay. No more questions?
So moved. Second.
Okay, motion by John Lash and second by Ale Manuel Lamas. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's no more items in this.
Motion adjourned.
So it's motion to adjourn, and we're adjourn the meeting, motion by Lamas and second by Seville. Adjourn the meeting at 4:14 PM. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we got to vote in favor.
Oh, yeah, sorry. All in favor to adjourn the meeting?
Aye.
Okay.